The chamber of the Galactic Council was a marvel of alien architecture, a 1,000-meter dome carved from living crystal, suspended above the gas clouds of Velthuri's prime. 17 species had built it over 4 centuries. It had witnessed the rise and fall of empires, the signing of peace accords, the tearful disbandment of entire civilizations. Today, it would witness something it had never seen before. A human refusing to beg. Ambassador Darian Voss walked into the Grand Hall alone. No entourage. No legal counsel. No diplomatic drone humming behind him with a briefcase full of concessions. Just a man in a dark navy suit, slightly wrinkled from the 40-hour transit, holding a single data chip between 2 fingers like it was a coin he was about to flip. The gallery erupted the moment he entered. 17 alien delegations, hundreds of observers, journalists, and dignitaries from across 42 star systems, all of them watching the lone human with a mixture of pity, contempt, and morbid curiosity. He didn't hurry his steps. He found his seat at the center of the floor, the accused seat, they called it, a single chair in the middle of a circular floor, ringed on all sides by towering council tiers. Darian sat down, crossed one leg over the other, and looked up at the ceiling with the mild expression of a man waiting for a delayed flight. The murmuring grew louder. High Chancellor Zareth of the Velthuri descended from the uppermost tier, his 4 luminescent wings folded tight against his elongated back, his 3 eyes burning with cold authority. He was ancient by any species measure, 900 years of political experience compressed into a body that radiated absolute power. He looked down at Darian Voss and felt something he had not felt in centuries. Unease. Ambassador Voss. His voice resonated through translation nodes embedded in every wall. You stand before the Galactic Council on charges of unilateral planetary aggression, violation of the Velthuri expansion accords, unauthorized deployment of experimental technology in sovereign space, and the deliberate destabilization of the Keth-Morvan trade corridor. Darian tilted his head. That's a lot of words for we didn't like what you did. The gallery hissed. Zareth's central eye narrowed. This is not a matter of preference, Ambassador. This is a matter of galactic law. Right. Darian uncrossed his legs, sat forward, and placed the data chip on the armrest of his chair. Then let's talk about galactic law. 6 months earlier, the Keth-Morvan Syndicate, a corporate empire aligned with 3 council species, had blockaded the Orion transit lane, Earth's fastest supply route to its outer colonies. The blockade was technically legal under a clause inserted into the expansion accords 40 years ago, before humanity had even achieved FTL travel. The Council had ruled against Earth's appeal in 11 days. 11 days. Earth's outer colonies, 2 million people, had been slowly starving for 4 months before humanity decided it was done asking politely. Earth's response had been creative, unprecedented, and deeply, profoundly illegal by Council standards. They hadn't fired a single weapon. Instead, Earth's engineers had deployed the resonance array, a network of 17 satellites that, when activated simultaneously, produced a harmonic interference field across the entire Keth-Morvan corridor. It didn't destroy anything. It didn't kill anyone. It simply made FTL travel extremely uncomfortable through that region, like trying to sleep on a ship while someone played a tuba directly into your skull at maximum volume. For humans, mildly annoying. For Keth-Morvan physiology, which processed gravitational harmonics through their primary sensory organs, it was debilitating. Every ship in the corridor had turned back within 48 hours. The blockade collapsed in 3 days. Earth's colonies were fed. And now Darian Voss was sitting in the accused chair, looking like he'd rather be somewhere quieter. The resonance array was a weapon, Zareth declared, his wings spreading slightly for emphasis. Deployed in sovereign space, affecting sovereign vessels. It was a speaker system, Darian replied. We filed it under Public Infrastructure, Experimental Audio Research, Sector 7G. All the paperwork is on that chip. Another wave of noise rolled through the gallery. You are being deliberately obtuse, Zareth said, his voice dropping to something that had made lesser ambassadors weep. Darian nodded thoughtfully. I'm being precise. There's a difference. Zareth spread all 4 wings now, the full display, the one that had ended careers, broken treaties, silenced revolutions. Ambassador Voss. The Galactic Council has deliberated. Earth's membership is hereby suspended indefinitely. Human vessels are prohibited from Council space. Human colonies beyond your home system will receive no Council protection, no trade agreements, no diplomatic recognition. You are, effectively, banished from the galactic community. The gallery went silent. Every species leaned forward. This was the moment. This was when the human would break, would apologize, would offer concessions, would do what every species did when Zareth spread his wings and spoke in that voice. Darian Voss picked up his data chip. He looked at it for a moment. Then he smiled, not a diplomat's careful smile, not a calculated expression of submission. A real one. The kind that reached the eyes and made absolutely no effort to hide itself. Okay, he said. Zareth blinked all 3 eyes. Okay? Yeah. Darian stood up, tugged his jacket straight, and slipped the data chip into his pocket. Okay. That is your response? Okay? Darian looked up at the High Chancellor the way a man looks at a thunderstorm he had already packed an umbrella for. Chancellor, let me tell you something about humanity. We have a long history of being told we don't belong somewhere. He began walking toward the exit, hands in his pockets. We were told we didn't belong in the ocean. So we built boats. We were told we didn't belong in the sky. So we built planes. We were told we didn't belong in space. He paused at the chamber door, turned back one last time. And here we are. You will not survive without Council trade routes, Zareth called after him, something sharpening in his ancient voice, something almost like alarm. Your outer colonies will wither. Your species will stagnate. You need the galactic community. Darian Voss tilted his head, the smile still there, unhurried and immovable. Do we? He glanced around the enormous chamber, at the crystal walls, the towering tiers, the 17 delegations watching him in stunned silence. Because I've been doing some math. Earth currently supplies 43% of the Council's biological repair compounds. 18% of your food-grade atmospheric processors run on human-designed filtration cores. And the resonance array? He tapped his jacket pocket. We have 212 of them. Fully operational. Patent pending. The silence that followed was a different kind of silence. Not the silence of shock. The silence of a room full of very intelligent beings rapidly recalculating. The banishment stands, Zareth said, but his voice had lost 3 degrees of certainty. Absolutely, Darian agreed pleasantly. We'll be on our way. He pushed open the chamber door. Cool corridor air drifted in. Oh, one more thing. Our preliminary surveys of the unclaimed Vega drift sectors? The ones the Council classified as economically non-viable 30 years ago? He glanced back over his shoulder. Turns out they're sitting on the largest undiscovered deposit of xylurium ore in the known galaxy. We filed the claim this morning. He checked his watch. About 4 hours ago, actually. So. He raised 2 fingers in a casual farewell. You have a good one, Chancellor. The door swung shut behind him. Outside, in the long crystalline corridor, Darian Voss let out a long, slow breath. His hands were steadier than he'd expected. His heart was hammering exactly as much as he'd expected. He walked toward the transit bay, footsteps echoing on alien stone, alone in a corridor built by species who had existed before his planet had invented the wheel. His comm buzzed. Earth's Secretary General, voice tight with restrained anxiety, how did it go? Darian looked up at the stars visible through the crystal ceiling, 1,000 suns, 1,000 worlds, a galaxy that had just slammed its door in humanity's face. He thought about boats. He thought about planes. He thought about every person who'd ever been told you don't belong here and built something magnificent out of sheer, bloody-minded refusal to accept it. Fine, he said. It went fine. They accepted our terms? Not exactly. He rounded the corner toward the transit dock, where Earth's small, unpretentious diplomatic shuttle waited. They banished us. A pause. And? Darien Voss smiled again, that same real, unhurried smile. And we smirked. In the chamber behind him, High Chancellor Zareth sat motionless on his ancient throne for a very long time. He was, for the first time in 900 years, genuinely unsure how this ended. That, he suspected, was exactly how the humans wanted it.